So for parents, the fifth marking period interim grades will be posted this Friday. Today, Wednesday, is the last day of the interim period. It gives our faculty a day to get everything graded, submit comments for students that have grades below a C, and then post them out on Friday to the families. Yearbook ads are still open for underclassmen. If you're not familiar with that tradition, in our yearbook, there are quarter, half, and full page opportunities for families to leave a message, um, perhaps a picture. And again, it sounds maybe strange to say in this era of social media and instant memories, but the yearbook kind of serves more as a time capsule. And what we find is 10, 20, 30, 50 years down the line, um, you know, cadets pop open that yearbook, perhaps for the first time in decades. And then they see those messages from their brother cadets, their family members, um, friends, and it's a good exercise in the memories. So again, that opportunity is available. You should have received an email from Mr. Eubank. His email there is eubankj@hargrave.edu. Parent-teacher conferences will be this Friday. We do need RSVPs, and it is a tight time window, only 8 minutes for the Zoom conference. It is designed to help put a face to the names, as well as give you a quick chance to touch base with our faculty. Because it's such a short time period, please be mindful of staying on schedule. It's 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock on Friday. If it turns out that you need a longer conference with your cadets, faculty or staff member, again, our traditional methods of reaching out by phone or by email are still in place. The parent-teacher Zoom conference is there to again just be a mark on the calendar, so that we don't later on regret and say, oh, I woulda, coulda, shoulda reached out. So that's just one more event. Junior retreat for parents of juniors. An email should have gone out to you about a letter for your cadet. The junior retreat is a 2-day affair, and during that time period, there's events designed to foster camaraderie, brotherhood, as well as reflection, not only for reflecting on their role amongst their peers, but also reflecting on the support that they've received from their family. And we ask that you send a letter to them, or prepare a letter for them. The letter should not be announced. Please don't tell your cadet that you're preparing a letter, but instead, send it. And a lot of times, because we're talking about teenage guys, they don't oftentimes hear the messages that we as the family and support around them have been trying to tell them, that we're proud of their efforts, that we recognize their abilities, that we see their struggles, and that at the end of the day, we love them and will support them. So, in your own style, please prepare a letter like that. For parents of current 10th and 11th graders, as a reminder, the Travel Hurt Award is available through the generosity of a family of Hargrave. They provide a several $1,000 gift towards allowing a cadet to travel abroad and do research. And so Mrs. Hurt's criteria is that the cadet applicant be an avid reader, he be inclined to explore new cultures, be open to some of their ideas, should be gregarious, ready to talk about those adventures, ready to make friends wherever he goes, and someone who would truly benefit from traveling abroad. She truly believed that the experience of traveling and being exposed to these new experiences really grew not only the individual, but also the community around them. And so, again, there's a deadline for that coming on up. If we could get some application for that, if you're so inclined, that would be for cadets who would be juniors and seniors next year. And I do realize that COVID seems to have put a crimp in the travel schedule, we have deferred last year's award to this year. And so that last year's applicant will actually enjoy the benefits of his successful application this year. And the travel abroad can be defined as Canada and Mexico or Central America, also not just Europe or Asia. And then kind of looking way ahead here, 90 days or so to the end of the year. Our final week of the semester begins with the Mother's Day parade. Senior parents only, please, due to the COVID environment. And then exams. So underclassmen, just because they're teenage guys, oftentimes want to work their family a little bit to say that, hey, I've got exam taken care of, or exams are really hard. What we'd like to do is make sure that you understand the environment around exams. So underclassmen will have 2 days of study with the faculty, at least 2 days of study with the faculty. And because exams are worth 25% of the semester grade, they're high value single events. And so teenage guys need to be deliberately guided through that. And so as part of our How to Study program, we've been doing that and we'll continue to do that until the end of the semester. And then they'll take their exams Wednesday through Saturday. So not Friday, but Saturday. And we don't allow early exams or exemptions, and we appreciate your support on that. Oftentimes, a young man, teenager with his mindset, what he wants to do is get it over with. You know, it's painful, it's high value. Maybe he'll be successful, maybe he won't. And so, as he tries to withdraw from that potential stress, he chooses the "let me take it early so I can get out of here" type of attitude. And that really shorts his faculty some time to help him prepare, as well as himself. He's really setting himself up for a ready reason not to be successful. And teenagers don't always see it that way, but please help support that. Now, here's where underclassmen will sometimes get a little confused and send a mixed message back to parents. Seniors actually begin their exams ahead of underclassmen. And we do that in order to allow seniors to actually graduate while the underclassmen can see them. And that way the underclassmen, have to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel of high school. They, see the bonds that they have formed with their senior cadets and see the kind of the launching off to bigger and better things. Only seniors that have an A in the year-long high school course can be exempt from exams. So again, we do this so that seniors will kind of not throw the pack down as it comes up, as the traditional senioritis starts to kick on in. They need to maintain that status through the end of their sixth marking period, and then the reward would be an exemption from that high value exam. But only seniors have that exemption, and only seniors that are in year-long courses. So if we're taking the college classes, which are on the college semester schedule, that exemption doesn't apply, both because it is a little bit too much value, as well as college, the college SOP doesn't allow for exemptions of exams for freshmen. And then if a senior is in a semester-long course in his second semester of his senior year, he doesn't get that exemption. And then my final slide here is just for visibility in the last couple of days. We have a baccalaureate. That's the last communal worship service of the Corps for 2021. They get to worship together, and that is closed to the public. Senior dinner, that's a limited edition, Thursday on 13th of May at 6:30 p.m. And we will have an RSVP out for that. And then based on the RSVPs, we will open up additional seating. On Friday, 14th of May, the graduation of the class of 2021 will occur. Again, limited attendance to the families of the class of 2021. And then on Saturday, the last underclass exams, grade 11 cadets are now the senior cadets on campus. And again, let's kind of give them a chance to put that suit on and see how it fits. And then the final formation, some awards will be given out there, and then plenty of time to check out for rooms. The campus will not close Saturday. We understand that getting in and out may not be quite so easy. And so campus will remain open Sunday and into Monday if necessary to allow underclassmen an appropriate amount of time to get out of their rooms and packed up and prepared to go back to home. So at this point in time, I do apologize for the technical issues that required that I re-record this first part. And now Bill Bell will do his editing magic and drop you right back into the original part 2 of our meeting. Thank you.
Actually, quite the scheduling fiasco early Saturday morning, and the varsity basketball team stepped up and filled a game slot and ended up winning. So it was really cool to see them. Spring sports are going well. In our last town hall, I had mentioned that we wouldn't be having lacrosse interscholastically this year. And we've been able to work it out to where individual skills will be offered 3 times a week. So those guys were out there today and they seem to really enjoy it. So looking forward to that. Track will be competing in their first meet on Thursday afternoon. They'll be headed to Wilmington, North Carolina for a quad meet, and they're pretty excited about that. Baseball was scheduled to play a game against Highland at Lynchburg City Stadium, which is a minor league stadium. That game is still up in the air, trying to finalize the details. Right now, it's like I said, it's very up in the air. And once the final decision has been made on that, you will be aware soon thereafter. And then all current schedules and rosters will be posted to the athletics website by the end of the day tomorrow. Again, it's still a work in progress. So check back there if you have any questions about things, and I'll do my best along with my coaches to communicate any scheduling changes as they happen in real time. And then as a reminder, all home contests will be streamed on YouTube, or they will be recorded and sent out the next day to that YouTube channel. And that's all I've got for athletics. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's Chief Officer Rader, the Commandant. Had a very busy February. Excited to start March. So in the last couple of weeks since we talked, we've had a trip to a trampoline park. We've had a couple trips to Walmart both weekends, and we had a trip. Colonel Brown took a group of boys during open weekend to go throw some axes at an axe throwing venue. The Sage, the group that runs our mess hall, hosted a hot dog eating contest, and a cadet that ate a total of 9 hot dogs in 5 minutes to win the hot dog eating contest, and walked away with some money in his pocket. One of the events that I forgot to put up here is we had Spiritual Emphasis Month guests come out from Real Encounter, which is a stunt group, and he came out with his motocross motorcycle and jumped over a car, jumped over myself. The boys enjoyed it, and then he also shared some of his testimony along with share the importance of faith with the boys. And we had a number of boys come up front and make a public decision to to get closer with Christ and accept Christ. So that was a really powerful day last Wednesday. Coming up, we kick off into kind of chaos for the military department as we prepare for multiple events almost every other week or every week. We've got something going on this Saturday. We have the mess night. If you've been listening over the last few town hall meetings and talking about it, mess night's a traditional, a military tradition, dates back all the way to the Vikings, but formalized by the British Royal Navy and British Royal Marines, and then brought over during the Revolutionary time with the officers that joined the Revolution and has become part of our military's history. And so, since we can't have guests on campus, we've replaced the military ball with a mess night, so the boys still have a formal event that they get dressed up for. We have a formal, semi-formal meal, and then we get to have a little bit of fun. So the boys are excited about that. I talked to them again on yesterday, gave them the rules of the mess, and then we start practicing every night. Right now, all seniors are required to attend. Anyone who's an officer is required to attend. The first sergeants are required to attend. And it's open invitation to 10th and 11th graders. We do have some room available. I'm asking, and I've told the Corps tomorrow's the deadline for them to RSVP for that, so we can make sure we have everything set up and ready for those that want to participate. And then next Saturday, from Saturday through Sunday, almost a 24-hour period, we're going to be running the Eye of the Tiger not competition, but event. And if you're not familiar with it, there's quite a bit of info if you want to do some reading on the Hargrave website. Basically, it's a test of their mental and physical endurance through a series of events, obstacle course, multiple fitness tests, some land navigation. We'll get in the pool. We'll have to do some drown proofing, meaning floating, learn how to float with the pack, jumping off of jumping off and into the water and doing things like that. Some tests, some memory exercises. Those that pass the minimum required events will be recognized during a patch ceremony on Sunday morning, and we'll eat a warrior's breakfast for those who participated. It's not mandatory, but it's highly encouraged. The biggest things that the young men will get from this, most importantly, self-confidence. They're going to overcome some challenges that they didn't think they would be able to do at some point, if not all day Saturday and Sunday. They're going to build that in those events. And then also it helps to build camaraderie and some teamwork amongst the boys as they work through these different events. And that's all I have.
Hey, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. Just a couple of quick reminders here, and then I'll hand off. The re-enrollment is live now, and the first incentive deadline is March 26th. So don't let that opportunity to get the incentive pass you by. That might sneak up on you. That's right before spring break. So just want to remind everybody about those incentives that are out there: $2,000 for boarders and $750 for day students. The financial aid application window is now open, and you can see the link there for the FAST website. If you need any assistance with the financial aid process or anything related to re-enrollment, please don't hesitate to give the admissions office a call or help with processing payments. You can certainly reach out to the business office to Miss Mayhew as well. So that's all I have this evening.
All right, thanks. Good to see everybody on the call tonight. Just an update on our COVID testing. We had one cadet who exhibited symptoms, and when he was tested, he was positive, so he immediately went into quarantine. There were 2 others through contact tracing that needed to be quarantined. Their quarantine's ending this week. And then we tested a large percentage of those folks that went out on open weekend, and all of them have tested negative. So that's very great. It's great attribution to how they're conducting themselves at home on open weekend. So good job on the boys, and we'll continue to keep our COVID protocols in place. We weekly have a quality of life committee that meets, and it's an opportunity. There's typically about 12 cadets that are on that committee, and they get around the table and they talk about things that they'd like to see changed, or issues or concerns. And here are just a list of some of the things that we've done. They asked for some additional equipment in the weight room, so we did that. They want to have mirrors in the weight room so that they can look at themselves flex after they work out. So we're ordering some of those. We're putting into place a little bit more access to the weight room on the weekends. So working with Coach Vesey on that, so that they have a little more access to the weight room. We opened the weight room on Sunday this weekend and had about 6 cadets that showed up to work out in the weight room. The postgraduate basketball team will be segregated from the companies next year. That'll be the first time we've done that. So we kind of look forward to seeing how that plays out for both the regular cadets and the PGs. But that was a suggestion from the underclassmen. Then they talk about communication in general. I haven't been in an organization yet that communication isn't somewhat hindered. And so we do everything we can to have layers of redundancy in communicating schedule changes, events, activities, things of that nature. So we'll continue to work that. We opened up a seniors officers lounge that only seniors who are officers can go in there. We've got a conference table, some nice chairs, and a couch, and coffee maker and fridge, and we're getting a TV and a cable for them so that they can have a place to not only hang out as senior officers, but also kind of get away from the rest of the Corps and have a place where they can work together and do some planning and have discussions. And so we think that's a great recognition of all the additional responsibilities that they have, that they now have a space where they can kind of call their own. So I think they're enjoying that space. The Quality of Life Committee also brought up additional Wi-Fi or some Wi-Fi issues, and our IT guy has put some additional Wi-Fi access points on the barracks, so we hope to solve that. We've also elevated our bandwidth from 500 to 1 gig, so that should improve some of the Wi-Fi performance as well. So really like the Quality of Life Committee. I think they're doing a great job bringing issues and concerns and then allowing us to address some of those as much as we can. We also have a monthly food committee that meets. It's run by one of our seniors, Darius Hankins, and he works with the mess hall to just have dialogue if there's any issues or concerns. And that's led to the removal of some unpopular items that don't get eaten very often when served. And so I think the cadets have responded favorably to that. And we encourage cadets to use those committees to get some of their issues or concerns addressed. And recently I commissioned a daily schedule working group. Always get feedback from cadets and staff and faculty and parents about how the schedule plays out on a daily basis. Currently, the cadets get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and the lights out at 2200. 2300 if they're on honors classes. So I've asked the commandant and the academic dean to put together a working group that has representation from a lot of different constituencies here on campus and just come up with some options. And I think in the process, people will have a broader understanding of how the schedule comes to be. But this will give people an opportunity to kind of express maybe some ideas, and we'll get a fresh look at it. And go from there. So I'm excited about seeing how they'll work that. We expect that to be completed sometime in April in order to be published in the cadet planner for next year. So just some good opportunities for cadets to be engaged in some of the decisions that happen on campus. And we're excited about their feedback and being able to hear their concerns. So that's all I have. Jim, I'll turn it back over to you to close out with Q&A. And again, I appreciate everybody taking some time out of their evening to spend on this call.
All right, thank you, sir. So kind of going through, sorry, I forgot to clear this slide from last week or last 2 weeks. So if you have any questions, I think there was some individual concerns that I've texted back already. And then right now my chat board appears to be very empty. So if you're feeling bashful, then put a chat message in. Otherwise, if you unmute your microphone, you will pop up to the top of my participant list. I'll call you by name and please ask your question. And let me verify that the ability to unmute works. So which parent should I check to see if they haven't been put asleep by some of our staff members' dulcet voices? So Mrs. Hassan, are you there? People are leaving. So Mrs. Ponton, can you hear me? Can you unmute?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am. I
you.
just wanted to make sure that the unmute button worked.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a reminder that there is a parent council meeting on Saturday.
Okay. Judge Beals.
How are you? I wondered what days, we talked about what days, Wednesday through Saturday, the underclassmen have exams. What days are the seniors having exams?
I'm just typing fast right here. And so their exams will either be Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Thursday.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You bet. Another question about graduation. Great question. The question is, when might we be able to find out if you can get extra tickets for graduation?
I'll answer that unless you have it, the specific date. I know it'll be a few days, but max a week after the RSVP date. But I don't have the date handy. Laura Agnor's handling that. But it'll literally be a few days after the RSVP date, once we see all the requirements.
Mr. Barnhart.
Yeah, well, do you know when the RSVP date is for the parent dinner before graduation?
I can look that up, I guess, really fast here. I should know that answer, but I apparently don't. Unless Colonel Brown can find that in his computer faster.
I'm looking.
Yeah, I got you.
I want to say it's that first week of April.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think it went out with the parent letter for the parents of seniors.
Yeah, I just found it. It says Friday, April 16th is the deadline for the RSVP for the family dinner.
Great, thanks.
Yes, sir, no problem.
All right. Good question. Good follow-up question. All right, well, I hate to rush anybody, but let me reassure you that our policy is to stay behind, and we'll be the last ones to turn off the lights if somebody has a question or a technical issue. Also, this slideshow is being recorded, so if there are any questions about things, you can always go back and watch this on our website. So Colonel Brown, can I turn it over to you for any final comments? And again, we'll stay back if there are any questions.
So the earlier question was about extra tickets. So we'll have those extra tickets assigned out by April 26th. We'll do it sooner, vice later, but they'll definitely be out by April 26th. Other than that, really do appreciate everybody's time this evening. We're starting to ramp up towards spring break, and then once we return from spring break, it'll be a sprint to graduation, the last day of school. That's it, Jim. Appreciate it. We'll stay on in case anybody has some.
Okay. Well, I think Judge Beals, you may have an additional question.
I tried to send it through the chat, but it didn't go. I just wondered, you talked, the coach talked about the possible baseball game at Lynchburg City Stadium, but that's up in the air for this Saturday, I believe. But is there a place where we can see the schedule for the baseball team for the rest of the semester, or is that still kind of being developed given all the COVID situation, everything going on?
Yes, sir. Thank you for asking. I am going to have everything up on our Hargrave Athletics website by tomorrow, with everything that's currently scheduled. I believe baseball has 13 games on the schedule so far. So that'll be published to the website that Dr. Tung is putting in the chat box there. And then any schedule updates will be made right to that website.
I got you. Any chance that any of them will be games where parents can come, like the Lynchburg Stadium one, if it happens, or is it pretty much because of COVID restrictions just going to be something you can watch on YouTube?
As of right now, yes, it'll be just something that you'll be able to watch on YouTube. If the game's able to happen Saturday, yes, you'll be able to go and see that one. Lynchburg City Stadium will allow fans. That's why I'm hoping that by the end of the day tomorrow, I will have complete clarity on whether or not that game will move forward.
Gotcha. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.